The fettuccine alfredo with the shrimp sounds great. And
with shrimp, okay.
Yes, and garlic bread. Come on up.
Use your face.
Are you gonna come up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have to.
We're live now.
Use your face.
Are you gonna come up here?
Yeah, but I don't want to be shown.
You can be shown. Who cares?
Okay, cool.
Okay, let's see. This is
Hi,
how
guys.
this is how I get ready. Hang on. Look at.
Yes.
Okay, let me put my.
Okay, put your face in the flame.
Why do I have to do this? Oh, because you want to go live on TikTok? So,
Age confirmed.
Wow. Glad I
Thank
look
you guys.
Glad I look like a 13-year-old.
Yeah, you're not a 13.
You're gonna want to put something behind that. So grab a cup or.
I have a
something.
Waterloo. That's what Waterloos are for.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to hit go live.
I know.
Wow, look at us, multi.
Hi,
Okay,
Jennifer.
that's me. Okay, you ready to? Oh, look, we're gonna wave to, Mikey.
This
okay.
is my mom. She's like really awesome.
Hi. Okay. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to MILF Hotline, episode 14. My co-host today is the amazing Kennedy Fox. She's co-hosting today because today we are talking about parenting styles. We're trying to talk about I'm waving all my friends. Kennedy, you're gonna help me mod this. We're talking about traditional parenting. We're gonna invite Dave. We're talking about traditional parenting and how it meets with unconventional parenting or newer age parenting. We've got Dave Padilla joining us from downstairs in our own house. Dave, how are you? We can't hear you, Dave. But I'm wait. Hey!
That's right.
How are you? Dave from the downstairs. Dave's everyone's favorite. Dave! Los Angeles based indie video game studio developer, CEO, trivia slut. What else? Cat owner.
Hello, Peter Hellback.
That's me.
That's you. Okay, well, let's jump in because, we're at our new day and our new time, and I didn't want to compete with football. So thank you to everybody who's joining us live or going to watch this replay. So if you're catching us in the future, thanks for watching because we know that your viewing and your subscriptions are going to make us money one day.
Woohoo!
Okay.
We gotta pay rent.
We got to pay rent. We want to get better audio. Like, we're really looking forward to taking this podcast with this live way higher. Okay. So we're talking about parenting styles today. What is the difference between the way you were parented as a kid and the way you're trying to parent your child now? And if you don't have a kid and you're joining us, you can talk about and you can contribute to the chat by how were you parented as a kid and how did it frame you as an adult? So I'm the kind of parent, very unconventional. Oh, look, there's you. Where I'm very open-minded. Kennedy and I have a lot of, there's like nothing taboo. I pride myself on if she has a question about something, she can answer it without it being awkward, or I can answer it without it being awkward. Are you the kind of parent that doesn't let your kid wear makeup or have a phone? Or are you going to be the kind of parent that, when the inevitable sex time comes around, are you going to be providing birth control and condoms? Those are kind of...
There's kind of no in between where you're at with parenting. You're either a very strict parent or you're a very, just flexible parent.
You think?
You could either... Yeah, I think that there's no in between because I have friends who aren't allowed to wear makeup. Okay. I have friends who are not allowed to date. I have friends who are not allowed to have social media. I have a lot of friends whose parents are very, very strict. And I have my mom who doesn't gaff about dating, makeup, or, any of that. First of all, I'm not a garden tool.
Oh.
And...
What is that? Like a hoe?
Yeah.
Oh?
I'm a hoe. I'm not a hoe.
You're not a hoe.
I'm not a hoe. So it's different. But I would think that I've dated a few people.
Mm-mm.
She doesn't mind. I mean, again, we're all teenagers. We're teenagers. We're going to do teenager stuff. We're going to be defiant. We're going to date. We're going to wear makeup. That's just how we are.
Well,
and
that's actually
parenting.
What we're going to get into is not defying, and how do you set that up so you don't have a defiant teenager situation.
We try to not have that.
Right.
But parenting is a two-way street.
Well, let's talk about why does this topic matter? Why did I want to bring this up? Hi, Lindsay.
Hello.
We're talking about parenting styles today. Robert, you have a good mother.
I
do. Okay. Why does this topic matter? I think that being the parent, a single parent of a teenager, I think that today when teenagers grow up, who's that? Oh, what happened? I love when I hear that sound. Does that mean like we gotta get through something?
That?
I don't know.
I think. Oh, he sent a rose. He sent 4 roses. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay, so it matters because teenagers are growing up so fast, right? Teenagers have a lot more access to things.
I'm so sorry.
What happened? My son. Oh no!
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so.
Thank you so much for sending a rose. Thank
Robert,
you so
I think
much.
that then you're doing the single parent job of a dad, and I definitely want a dad's perspective as well. Kids get to have access to so much more. Like growing up, we did not have cell phones that like were the cell phones now. Like I don't think I had a cell phone.
You guys had like razors and like
no, not until I was in college did I get a cell phone. And then no social media, obviously. We didn't have mental health discussions. These are all just conversations that like we didn't have growing up.
Parents, I've heard from her perspective that her parents back then were very taboo and very strict, very like sugarcoating.
No, I wouldn't say that. Like my parents were strict for sure, but like we'll get into it because like for example, we'll get into that in a second because my parents weren't super strict. Like the things they were strict about, they were really, really strict about. But then like I was afforded a lot of other options and opportunities that like most kids my age wouldn't have gotten. But like if I stayed out past my curfew on a Wednesday, that was then my dad would ground me if I was like 1 minute late coming back. So let's define what it's a conventional parent. I'm 45. So, Sherilyn!
Hi guys.
Hi Sherilyn. Okay, so defining parenting, like conventional parents, like my parents are in their 70s. And so they had really strict rules and like no discussions about things. Like, for example, it was like, you can't do this because I said so. And not that there were a lot of things that I wanted to do hey girl.
Hey guys.
There weren't a lot of things that I wanted to like do that my parents would object to, but there was a lot of, we just were very strict, right? And unconventional parenting has a lot more of like open communication, like collaborative decisions with your kids, emotional validation. And so like, for example, for me, being a single mom now, but I did have a partner helping me raise Kennedy for a while. There were a lot of things that like, as she got older, where I was like, if she had questions about like sex or things like that, I wanted to be very open. So if she had questions, like for example,
thank you so much.
We were talking about like 90 Day Fiance and like two men having sex, and she was asking kind of like, what's the difference between a top and a bottom? Like Kennedy asked do you remember this conversation?
It was TikTok guidelines.
No, it's fine. We can talk about it. I'm just not. But Kennedy had asked like if the difference between being a top and a bottom, if you were a male having a same-sex relationship with a male, is like, is one better than the other?
I was like 10 years old.
No, it was great,
and it was actually something I kind of needed to know. If I didn't know then, I wouldn't know now. And like that's kind of, I don't know if like it's important or not.
I think it is important because if you have gay friends or family members, there's gonna be questions. So we answered it. Actually, we called my sister and she helped. There's other things where I'm big into like, I want to spend a lot of our time together. And there are times where I'm like, I'm watching The Sopranos.
Don't do drugs.
Or I'm watching, like we watched like, what was it? 6 Feet Under. And on 6 Feet Under,
such a good show.
One of the characters was having an art show, remember? And she was like doing some disco dust.
Oh, I remember that.
And
yeah,
Kennedy,
what season was that? That's such a good
5,
show.
I think.
Such a good show.
But Kennedy had asked about different substances and had I done them. What is Robert saying? You have to ask your mother What that means, keep your eye on your drink. True. Yes, we're gonna
do not do drugs, guys.
Yes, we'll get into that. So anyway, Kennedy asked me some questions about like my past, and I was happy to answer them. I mean, not everything has to be up for discussion when you're an unconventional parent, but I do disco dust. Seriously, I gotta be careful with how I phrase things, you know.
Oh, and shout out to
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Walker, Texas Ranger. He is the best dog in the world.
Stacy, I still need to connect with you about jewelry because Stacy on the Instagram feed is the best jewelry artist maker you guys will ever meet. So I'm going to throw her information in the info for all of our replays. But anyway, so I do think that it is important, like, if your kid's going to ask you something,
Puppy,
to be honest, but don't sugarcoat the honesty, but don't lie either. And I knew, like, when I became a mom, like, I have tattoos and I do crazy shit with my hair and we go to concerts a lot. And, like, I knew when Kennedy was younger that we weren't going to be, like, a Wheels on the Bus or, like, what's that old McDonald's shit? Like, we weren't going to
like
be that.
Nursery.
Yeah, we weren't going to be that family. We're listening to Skrillex.
I still listen to them, but, like, I wasn't.
Not with me.
Like no, I wasn't.
And I use swear words a lot. And so I knew when she was younger that I was like, this is how I am. And I'm not going to use words like shoot and frick. And so she never was the kind of kid anyway that would be like, replayed. What do you say? Like said cuss words back.
No, I wouldn't.
She was a good girl.
I didn't do that until I was like 13. And
I do feel like from my personal parenting style, like I do try to blend like some traditional values with the way that my parents raised me. What happened?
They're talking about the skeleton.
Oh, he talks.
We haven't done this in like a year.
I have to put him on, but he talks. I love him. I got him at Target a million years ago with my mom.
Legend says he was a real person.
He could have been. I think for me, like also growing up, my parents had strict values, like you had to get good grades. If I had a curfew, like they'd be very generous. Like if there was a concert, like in Hollywood, I don't have any
friends hanging out with that has like a curfew.
Well, but you're 13. Like I'm thinking, I could drive.
Yeah.
yeah, not a Wheels on the Bus.
I mean, we started off strong. You gotta teach them young. You gotta.
We listen to Skrillex.
A ton of like EDM music, like of fun, funky music, like just amazing music.
Yeah,
I grew up with electronic dance music, and it was probably one of my favorite things of my early years.
Yes. All right, let's talk about the pros and cons of both styles of parenting. So traditional parents. Like baby boomers, what is Stacey saying? My parenting style is very similar. Lots of transparency with my kids. Yes, and you're an amazing mom. I remember seeing your kids when they were younger. Like, I think I remember like a time like maybe Stella, did she like her bangs with scissors or something? And I don't even think you were that mad about it. And Dante was always like the best, like cool kid son ever. Like Stacey's kids. I'll show you what she looks like.
I only cut my hair if I'm really in a desperate situation.
Stacey, this one right here, wedding signet, she made my wedding jewelry.
That's amazing.
You know my pink skulls?
Yes, that's amazing.
Yeah, she's dope. So, okay, so like with conventional parents, right? There's a lot of structure and clear rules. There's like, get good grades. You have to keep your room clean. You know, a lot of responsibility to like shape your kid to be a model citizen, right? But like a lot of it is your eyebrows like fire.
What?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that eyelashes?
These are eyelashes.
Sorry, eyebrows also look fire.
I bought them from the TikTok shop.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm impressed. My parents had a lot of like strict rules, but it wasn't always like get good grades. I feel like was a good one. Keep your room clean. I really let that go. I think with you, I don't care. Like as long as you're a mess.
I think that it's got to be controlled somewhat. But if it's like a mess, like for a little bit, like
it's your room.
It's my room. It's my space.
You can close the door.
I have the house, but it's my personal space.
As long as your mess doesn't make its way all over my house. I really, her space is her space. So the cons with that though, like having really strict guidelines, is like creating a fear-based relationship with your kids. Like my dad was scary, kind of, right? Like his rules were his rules, and if you pissed him off or you crossed him or you screwed up, he was angry, he was loud, consequences, lots of consequences and punishment. And it really was hard because as a growing teenager, I was like, I didn't really do anything that bad. But
you used to hitchhike? Jeez, that's scary.
Oh my God, hitchhiking? So I just kind of felt like my dad, he was really hard on me and my sister. And it would have been nice if he was like a little lighter, especially when I started like dabbling into the devil's lettuce.
Oh,
it got really like I thought I was being really slick, by the way. So any of my kids that are watching, like I'm just letting you know, as a parent, we've seen it all, so you're not that slick. But I thought I was so cool. I thought I was pulling one over on my dad and my parents, and they got
from Forsaken. Sorry.
What? They were harder on me after that because if I'm, eating the devil's lettuce and coming home like that, and not getting good grades. That was a problem, and I get that. But, a lot of traditional parenting, when it focuses on respect and authority, that can backfire, right? So
this script is funny.
What, my script? Oh, my talking points? Let's talk about some unconventional parenting pros and cons. Builds trust. Kids can feel heard and respected. Their emotional intelligence is prioritized. So I do feel like I can relate to my kid a lot more than my parents can relate to me. Kennedy and I like a lot of the same stuff. Like I feel that an unconventional way of parenting can actually like strengthen the bond between you and your kid. Like Kennedy and I have a very unique, close relationship.
Hi guys.
And it promotes her to be more mature and open. What do you think about that?
Me?
Yeah, about like our relationship.
I really appreciate it. I mean, I can tell her anything, what I'm feeling, what I'm saying. I can say, hey, here, pronouns are so and so.
Which I'm working on. I feel like I'm really working on that.
Thank you for working on this.
Really working on
so and so, she's very supportive of like my sexuality, what I'm interested in. Sometimes like I'll say something, I'll reference something that I'm interested in. She goes, "Oh Jesus," but that's okay. That's
what? Like give me an example.
Like object shows or
like
you like them.
The object shows. It was the masks for a while. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, like the theory and stuff. I want you to identify to something that's realistic.
And there's something like. I've never gone through an emo phase where I've like been like I've been some dark places in my life, but like I'm not
high school's around the corner.
Not like it's not a phase, Mom, like, not yet anyway. But like I really think that we build trust, and we still are building trust because I'm still getting older. She's still
getting older.
She's still learning how to be a good
Rosanna!
parent. Not even like you're such a good parent, but you're still learning, the ways of being a good parent because I'm not fully grown yet. I mean, I'm still a child.
When you look at like the grand scheme of things, like I've been a parent for 13
today. Thank you.
For 13 years. Oh my God, Dave's giving me all kinds of gifts over there. Finger heart.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Dave.
I've only been a parent for 13 years, which like on the grand scheme. What? That's
God.
On the grand scheme of things, like that's not a lot, right? Like my parents have been parents for 45 years, right?
That's absolutely wild.
So like 13 years isn't a lot. Or like I have friends that have like Mahaba, like her baby is young, and you do like things that change, like technology changes and cars change and fashion changes and like parenting styles do change.
Yeah.
I think it's just stuck there. That's what it does. So, and also like now there's different there's different topics, right? Like sex and sexuality.
Cool. Thank you for sharing, Two-Time.
What else? Sorry. There's the topics that like we discussed, like being like different gender fluidity and stuff like that wasn't as big of a deal when I was younger, right? I mean, I know it existed, but it wasn't like a thing, like as big of a thing as it is now to identify.
Clear?
No, like to like identify as like a they them or something, it's more prominent now.
I know. And because people, whether people like it or not, thank you, Dave. Whether people like it or not, there are more and more gay people, and they're coming out. Not even like maybe the same gay people are coming out to the world because the world is just feeling a little bit more safer with gays and with trans people. especially
Totally with trans people.
and like with so many different people of the LGBTQ community, everyone's just feeling a little bit safer and being able to come out and share to the world that I'm gay or I'm lesbian or I'm trans. You know, there's so many things.
Or fluid.
I'm gender fluid. There's a lot of things that people will like say in the LGBTQ community, and because we feel a little bit safer. And I mean, it's just like I love that about the world that's going on right now.
I want to be the kind of parent that is open to stuff like that, where like I think
That's unfortunate.
and like other parents can weigh in on this too. But like some of my closest, like I love my mom, right? Whoops, I did not mute my computer.
Jeez.
Some of my sorry, I'm trying to mute that. Okay, there we go. Like I love, you always love your mom, but I have a great aunts too. But like growing up, a lot of my best friends' moms, I was close with them too, and I felt like, especially as I got older, like I could go to them for things that I didn't necessarily feel like I could go to my mom for, and like Alexis Cordero's mom, Maggie. Oh my God, like love her, and I just think that
we've got some guests.
You're gonna invite. I think that being able to talk with other moms or dads, those parents would always like help me understand what my parents were thinking and help me understand their perspective. But also guide me too,
It
like
helps a lot.
Yeah, so I want to be the kind of parent that not just that my kid can come to, but that like her friends, can come to me too. Obviously, like
we'd love that. I think that
I love the parents.
I
that
have
your
a very
friends.
LGBTQ group, and we are very woke. We love the same things. I mean, just like normal friend stuff, and like we're all some sort of gay, and like I love that, and like my friends love my mom, and I love my friends' moms, because they're all amazing.
You've got some really
I've got some good friends' moms, and they're really nice. Like some parents,
and they're so nice to me too.
Amazing. One of my friends' moms is literally my teacher, and she's like the most supportive person I could ever come to in my life other than my mother. And like that's so amazing. Like I'd just be like, hey Miss Higgins, like here's my
Shout
here's
out
my
to Miss
pronouns.
Higgins.
I love you, Miss Higgins. My pronouns are whatnot, and like
she's
like,
so
okay,
cool about
like
that.
she's so cool.
But
and,
also
there's a lot of people out there who are like my friends who are really supportive and nice.
I feel like your teachers in general too.
Oh, they're amazing.
Everyone
I got really good teachers.
Yeah,
really
and I really love that all of these teachers, like a lot of them, like some of them have kids, some of them don't, but I do love that they're new age, they're progressive, and they're not trying to hold these kids back or shove them in a closet or a box. They're all like, this is how middle schoolers are, and we're rising with the times. And I love that. Because there's not one teacher that I felt like if something was wrong that you couldn't go to, you know?
Of course, because all my teachers are amazing. And we have to get a Starbucks gift card from Miss.
Oh, yeah, I do love her.
Pumpkin spice.
So there are some downsides, right, to like being a cool parent, or you know what I mean?
I love that. I love that so
Whatever.
much. I love head pats. Yay!
Like this? Oh, okay.
I love head pats.
The downsides, I will say from my own, from our experience, is that the boundaries do get blurred sometimes between respecting parents and as friends. So a lot of you guys know already, like I'm a single mom, raising Kennedy by myself in the last year as a teenager, like we both were healing and grieving, and so we were aligning like our traumas and together.
Bondage grown so much stronger.
We've been really good lately too.
It's been a blessing in a disguise. With every hardship, there is some sort of crazy bond level going on between me and her. You know,
I think
we can express ourselves and we can bond so much.
Phil.
Hi Phil. So much with what we are going through at the same time. I can say, hey, I can walk through the door and be like, I'm going through something. She could be like, I'm also going through something. We could literally just cry together, you know, like just
there's been a lot
move
of that.
on, eat some food. You know, it's absolutely amazing. Like
there's been other times too where she's just like, I'm going to my room.
I can come to my mom. I can come to my mom. Or I could just like sulk and like cry and like be okay with it.
You could do both.
You know? I could just do both by myself.
Well, and I think like for us a few months ago, when I think we were really settling into like boundaries and things for just you and I, that there were days where I'm like, oh, why are you being such a bitch? You know?
'Cause that
And
probably was me.
because then you had your room all nice too. And I'm like, no, I'm really alone. When Kennedy needs her alone time, I'm downstairs just like alone with the dogs.
Yeah.
But it's gotten better, I think, since you've gotten your own space.
It's
Because
so much
you
more
get to,
freeing.
she gets to go retreat into
Amazing.
her space, and I
Chill
leave her
out.
alone. You know what I mean? And if we are arguing, I do feel like lately it's been a lot better where we don't push each other's boundaries or buttons as much. And like it does happen. Like she and I will definitely be pissed off at each other, and I'll say like, the fuck, I thought I asked you to not have Waterloo cans everywhere or whatever, but like
I need to throw that Waterloo can in out of my room.
Oh, whatever.
No.
I don't care what happens in your room. But it has been a journey to be like, Kennedy, your shoes do need to go here, but I've also like lightened up a lot too. So
I think that whether I like it or not, the hotline has really helped change her perspective on things more than thinking bad about something, than thinking on the bright side.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like where we started off, I was like, good ways to talk smack about something, to how good of a parent I am, and how empowering things are, and it's changed their perspective completely.
Well, and I think too, like having like listening to some of the conversations like with your friends and their parents, it's just like we don't have it bad.
We don't.
You know, like you and I really don't. And I do feel
We have a nice house. We have nice.
Well,
pets.
okay, our accommodations are definitely great, but I meant like as a respectful, like a relationship and a union. Like I'm not worried. Listen, I don't have rose-colored glasses on that like Kennedy may not sneak out of the house at some point when she gets older and like dabble in some kind of substance or get drunk or whatever. And one of the things, like these are teenager things that I'm going to have to accept as she gets older. But I do think that having that conversation with your kids of like, if you're out somewhere and you're drinking, just let me know. Like I would rather be inconvenienced and irritated with you and we'll get through it versus you lying to me and potentially getting sick or end up in a hospital. And I think having that open communication with your kids is great. So moving on, I do think that what I've been going through lately with my parents, Walker's behind my butt, what I've been going through lately with my parents who are baby boomers, you'll learn all about what the heck baby boomers are.
Yeah.
Versus me, supposedly I'm Gen X, which if you are out there and you're 45 or in that age range of me, like we're Gen X. I think Kennedy's generation is Gen Alpha.
I'm Gen Z.
Oh, you're Gen Z?
Yeah, I'm on the cusp of Gen Z.
Okay, so am I Gen Z? No. Dave, are you there? What generation are we?
Look it up on this thing?
No, I need the nose. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But
what generation is what?
What generation are we? I can't hear you now. Dave. Gen X? Gen Z?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
We hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I think we're Gen X.
Thank you, sir. So the reason that like our generation, Gen X, Wakanda forever, and my parents' generation, which is the baby boomers, this is why they conflict so much. Is we talked about like how now we talk about mental health awareness and gender fluidity and sexuality and like also the kids have internet available. Like when I was growing up, I had AOL dial-up and everyone got the CD in the mail, and then we had MySpace. And so now it's like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, like there's all these platforms that do exacerbate like the growing up portion, or they can make things complicated, right? Like for example, like a more like conventional parent would be like, I don't want you to have access to the internet, things like that, because trafficking, or I don't want you talking to strangers, or I don't want
It's getting to a helicopter at that point.
Right. And like for me, if I'm going to punish my kid, I hate to be like, I'm taking your phone away, because these kids will literally, like, what's the best way to say it? Like, freak out and melt down from FOMO.
I'll literally actually tweak.
They'll lose it. And
if I don't play Grow Garden,
well, that's not,
I know,
but you know, but like kids now, like that connection outside of school via social media or texting or group chats, like it's huge for them. And when you cut them off from it, it becomes a problem. So I really try to use that sporadically. But like let's talk about mental health, right? Like that was not a thing that we talked about when I was younger, right? It was just like,
Why?
well, because it just wasn't like, it wasn't popular because like, let's just
Mental
say
health wasn't popular.
discussing it wasn't popular,
Oh.
right? Like therapy, like if my, like to this day, when I had spoken, like my parents, like specifically my mom, if we talk about therapy or it's just like, look, mom, I talked about this in therapy, she'd be like, I'm sorry we were such bad parents and we didn't love you enough. And it's like, whoa.
I'm so glad that you have a good therapist. I've had some really good therapists.
Therapists are great.
Save your life.
Yes. And so like talking, like when I got medication for my anxiety and my depression, when it just spiraled out of control and I wanted to get control of my life, my mom.
If you guys are ever in a dark place in your life, get therapy. Like it's
Yeah.
so worth it. They will save your life. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
And also there's all kinds of like hotlines and things like that you can call.
Oh.
But my mom was like very anti-medication. And I think a lot of it stems from, hold on, I'm having a big brain moment.
Ooh.
I think a lot of the reason that mental health wasn't like a big discussion is because the parents felt like they were not.
They were being attacked.
No, like they didn't do enough and they felt bad, but in their way of being like, their way of saying like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, let's get you some help. It's like they felt bad and embarrassed and shamed, right?
Mm.
But those aren't words that they use. They're just like, I'm sorry, I didn't love you enough. And then they shame you into, what do you call it? Oh, I'm a stamper. They shame you into not wanting to get into therapy. And it's
That's
like,
annoying. It sucks. You know?
so it's not that my parents, so we asked me earlier if my parents were strict or whatever. It's not that at all. It's just that my parents are older and, you know, they, like my mom had it rough a little bit, you know, growing up as far as like her mom was a single mom for a while and my grandma's mom was a single mom and my dad, you know, he just is a pain in the ass. So I just think that like, you know, then they started a family and they just did the best that they could. But as a newer parent, like, I don't want to parent like my parents. I want to be more like open and I want to have conversations. Like I get yelled at all the time, right? Like Kennedy doesn't respect you because you treat her like you're her best friend. And it's like, that's not true. She definitely respects me.
You're my own mother. I definitely respect you.
Yeah, or like I'll get a lot of kickback when people are like, you take your kid to Coachella. Yeah, we go to Coachella.
We go to Coachella.
You know, we love Coachella.
It's my 4th year going. I'm so happy.
We're not
with
sharing
the Coachella lineup, guys. It is so fire, and I'm so excited.
Kennedy and I are not. I'm not like giving her things that she shouldn't have. I would never do that. You know what I mean? I'm not like, hey, take a sip of this like drink or whatever. Like, we're not irresponsible about it. And by the way, plenty of people bring their kids to Coachella.
And I don't think that.
And Kennedy,
yeah, there's
like,
like Coachella. I love Coachella.
Kennedy stays up later than me half the time.
My mom isn't like, want to try drugs? Instead, she's like,
No.
want to go to Coachella? Yay!
Yeah, and then usually by
It's
midnight,
amazing.
we're like, we should be in bed.
We should probably be in bed.
And I think that that's.
Old grannies.
We're grannies
We're
now.
old grannies. I'm going to be 14, guys.
Well, you've got a while now, so. So anyway, so.
100 years old.
You are 400 years old. I think that also when you are a cool parent, when you're not, when you're unconventional, this whole like access to social media and the platforms and it comes with a lot of other things, right? Like cyberbullying.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just important to be like, you can have.
Bullying in general is just.
What is?
Bullying in general.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. I think, though, that it's important to have the conversations. If you're going to let your kid have access to TikTok or Instagram.
I'm so sorry. It sounds like...
What?
Man, that really sucks, man. Like, therapy really does save your life. And it's not calling you weak. It's like when you get tutoring, it's not calling you stupid. It's literally just getting help. You need help.
Assistance.
Like, everyone needs help.
Yeah.
You know? Everyone needs assistance. Everyone needs support. It's just getting support. I hate when people... like frown upon therapy or frown upon tutoring.
Like someone's
frown upon tutoring, or it's annoying because you're literally just getting assistance to do better, to have more mental health, to get good grades in school. It's like just assistance. It's just support.
And eventually you do get older and you can make those decisions to do that. But I think also. Do you have any friends that their parents are like, they can't, like still now, like they can't have Instagram or they can't have TikTok? Or do you find that like a lot of your friends?
Allie doesn't even have a phone.
And so, okay, let's talk about that for a second. Because I was always fine with you having a phone. I think that the hardest thing, like for you, I wanted it so that like I could see where you were, right? Like when you started hanging out with your dad more. But I do think that it is hard to have a phone sometimes with kids because they do fall into traps. Like they start messaging people they're not supposed to.
Or messaging people without,
Permission.
knowing what they look like. Or
Yeah.
It's all scary. None of these things, and I don't like some of the people are like, she won't let me have a phone because she's so protective and she's just not a good parent. Like, she's just being strict and she's just being annoying. It's all just about safety. It's all about safety. She doesn't want you to talk to people without knowing them.
Right.
Because literally, guys, you could get kidnapped. And sold to other people. It's so scary out there too. You don't know who these people are. It's so scary out there. It's all just about safety.
I think also like, okay, the phone thing becomes so addicting, right? Like when we got Kennedy a phone, it was, Kennedy, the phone is for texting. It is not for video games. Next thing you know, that thing is loaded with like Rodeo Stampede or Among Us or whatever Roblox. And it's like,
Roblox is amazing.
And then you're sitting there going, you can't be on your phone, but I'm sitting there playing Heyday for 4 hours.
Exactly.
So you have to find that balance there too. Okay, moving forward.
Oh, that's a good one.
You can say it. What is it?
If you never got to have like certain foods, or like you never got to have like these things because they're unhealthy and you want to maintain your diet, and you're literally just kids, guys. You're gonna enjoy sugar. Literally everything has sugar in it. Let kids be kids. Let kids have candy. Let kids have...
Well, hold on. Let's go back on that. And let me say, hold on. No, we're not going to just let you have candy.
That's a good one, too.
You missed a whole topic.
I know, but like...
Let's talk about...
we missed that.
No, we're just on it right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is where we're at, Traditional parenting, we're talking about today's teens now, right? Like, traditional parenting, you could create a real resistant teenager that's going to push back harder on you because, like, today's world of free expression.
2 miles tomorrow.
And what is it?
10 laps each day is rough.
Ew. And, like, the access to having things is so much easier. So, for example, if you're going to say you can't have Instagram, or you can't have your school, like your phone after school because you're grounded, or you can't wear makeup, or you can't date, you don't need therapy. Like, these kids are going to find ways to access this stuff, and it's going to blow up in your face. And here's a good example of what Kennedy was just saying.
If you're telling them what not to do, they're just going to want it more.
So, and there's limits. Like, but for example, when I was growing up, like, we didn't get to have fast food a lot. And, you see commercials, like, I don't know if the commercials are the same way now, but, like, the commercials for, like, junk food, like, or Lucky Charms, or, like, cereals like that, or snacks, that was, like, we were huge. Like, we wanted snacks, so, like, certain snacks so bad. And so, not only did my parents, like, not let me have all that stuff, the first job I got, the first paycheck I got, you bet your ass your girl was going to the market, and I got Lucky Charms, fruit roll-ups. Like, I got so much crap, like, food that I didn't need. Hey, Stephanie, how are you?
Hi, good.
You're going to love this part. I was saying, we're talking about, like, if you're a real traditional but strict parent, and your parent won't let you have certain things growing up, and this is going to be my next example, and I think you'll laugh. If you grow up with a family that doesn't want you to have pets, you're going to grow up, your kid's going to grow up and adopt every dog and kitten out of the shelter like me, right? Like, now I have 3 cats, and
we run a dog
4 dogs, and a litter of dogs, and I've got 2 horses. And so it's like, you've got to find those ways to explain to your kid, like, you can't have a horse, but this is why. But when you grow up, if you want a horse, this is what you're going to want to do to work towards that goal, right? My parents just always were like, we can't afford to have a horse. And for a lot of people out there, maybe they don't know that I was a professional equestrian for a long time. I still own horses. And it crippled me emotionally because we'd go on these vacations, right? And my parents would go out of town a lot or whatever. And I'd be like, if you just stop doing things for yourself, I could have a horse. Growing up, not only did I realize, if they ever watch this, right? If like my parents and I are ever on like good terms again and they ever watch this and they'll see that I threw them a bone. Growing up, you realize I didn't need a horse, right? I had my whole life to get a horse. We only had so much time as a family to grow up and go vacation together. But when I became a mom, I was like, I don't give a shit about taking my kid and seeing national parks or, right, like going across country or leaving the country at all. I was like, my kid and I, like, whatever she wanted, right? Like, and even still to some respects, like, we're doing it. Like, if Kennedy wants a Labubu and I have, like, the last $50 in my account and Pop Mart happens to be going live, I'm going to spend 30 of those $50 to get her a Labubu because it's what she wants. Or we go to Coachella, or I'm trying to think of other things that we do together. Like, we'll go to Disneyland, and it's just like, yeah, maybe we don't save up and do vacations and, like, more traditional family things other than Coachella, but, like, which is very expensive. But I do feel like the way that our dynamic is, it's like, or my parenting style is like, we don't care about taking trips. I know, it's probably our food. We don't care about things like that. We care about spending time together now, you know, like in the now. And that's become very important for me and my kid. And I'm not saying that the things that, like, the vacations that I went on with my family and my sister, like, they weren't great memories. They were. I just, you know, my parents still love to vacation, like, across the, you know, like, across the continent. And I'm like, cool, go enjoy, like, Maine. We'll be here.
We'll be here. Yeah, go enjoy the or just
go watch the leaves.
Or out of country, where it's like, go enjoy Cancun while we sit here and slave away, you know.
But we work hard to get the things that we love.
And then, like, you know, and then
like
we
our house.
kind of rub things in people's other face, like, ha, like, not like that. Like, no. It's just like, Coachella, we're at Coachella. Like, we worked so hard to get to Coachella.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I live beyond my means. I don't know if that's a conventional parent thing or not. Like, I'm a single parent, right? So I don't have a joint income. And, you know, sometimes I'm like, do we need this expensive house? Probably not. It's just me and Kennedy and a bunch of dogs and a bearded dragon and a few cats. But at the same time, like, it's what we love.
Hi, guys.
And we like having space to spread out. And so we make it work. On one last note, Kennedy, I wanted to talk about, and I got permission to say them by name, but recently I've become, like, Kennedy's got a really great group of friends this year, and I love this for Kennedy, and I love this for me, because, and like, Stephanie, maybe you could chime in, like, do you ever find that it's hard for you to connect with other parents?
I mean,
you're a cool lady,
yeah,
like,
well, I'll say this. I do think it's hard to connect with other parents when you like the parent and the child, right? And then, like, your kids get along with the kids as well. Like, I think that's hard to find, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I when I was in Colorado, I had an easier time. I mean, Kennedy also was in dance for a while, and it was fun to, like, have some of these dance moms, but, like, I haven't always been covered in tattoos, but I've always been like this, right? Or kind of like mouthy or loud. And so it was hard to find, like, Kennedy always had friends, but it was for me hard to find connections with those parents. And now Kennedy has this amazing group of friends, and all of a sudden it's this massive influx of amazing parents, and they're so cool. And so this one family, the Rices, the dad's an artist, and he's hilarious. And the mom is an animal trainer for, like, the studios. Like, she trained the dogs in John Wick and has one of the dogs from John Wick, which I have recently become infatuated and obsessed with the John Wick series, thanks to Dave. So they have this rule with their family where, because both of them, a lot of times with their lines of work, like, they're called to travel out of the country. And so they have a rule, or even out of state, and they have a rule for their family that if it's 3 weeks or more, they all go, like the kids and everything. And so last year, right, with Dove, they went down to New Zealand, right?
We went down to New Zealand for like 3 months.
To do a movie that the mom was working with a dog or two, or I don't know. I have to get the details, but it was definitely one cool dog, and the mom was training it.
Dog.
No, it wasn't John Wick.
It was the John Wick dog.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You asked Dove right now. It was not the John Wick dog in New Zealand. It was another movie, and I'm not at liberty. We're not going to say it.
They own the John Wick.
They do own the John Wick dog, one of the John Wick dogs. But anyway, so they left in the middle of 7th grade, right, or beginning of 7th grade.
From Valentine's Day.
Okay, so mid, and came back at the end, and or even summer. But anyway, regardless, they were gone for a while. And I just met the parents recently, and they had a barbecue, and it was so awesome. And they also have a son that's.
Thank you for 1K likes. Thank you so much.
Oh wow! I think he's a senior in high school, right? What's her brother?
Is
But-
Delica's?
No,
Delica's a brother?
Dove's brother, yeah, with the cool hair.
Older brother. I don't know.
Anyway, they all packed it up. They all went to New Zealand when we got to hang out with all of them. Like, their photos and everything, they were so awesome. And Dove and the brother doing like TikTok dances and stuff. And it was so amazing that their family dynamic, all 4 of them, no one was like, damn it, I'm going to miss my friends. I mean, I'm sure there was an element of that.
Oh, Dove was.
She was.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it looked like they were just having the best time as a family. And that's a new way of parenting, right? Like, listen, we're all going. You can have school anywhere. Like, at that age, to be able to experience different countries and cultures and even education in other countries, such a unique, amazing experience for their family. And then they come back and they're just like the coolest people ever. So I love that. Like, and they're a little older than I am, not by a lot. But I just love that they're like, this is what we do. Like, I think Dave and Jeffrey were talking, like, people were asking, is it hard to just pack up your family? And he's like, yeah, but we do it and it works. And I love that. Whereas I don't think that my parents could ever, I don't think my parents could ever do that. Anyway, on one last note, so Stephanie, your kids are younger still, right?
Yeah, I don't want to go too much into.
No, yeah. Well, you don't have to worry about dating.
Well, that's not true. I think
Okay.
listen, I think when you have kids and you're dating, I think that you have to just be aware that kids connect quickly with people.
Yeah.
So bringing multiple people into their lives
Yeah.
is not necessarily a good thing to do.
Right.
But,
no, but I meant like with your kids dating. Like for example, Kennedy has had a girlfriend. Kennedy, are you identifying as bisexual these days? Mm-hmm. Okay, still.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi,
Dove! We were just talking about you. Kennedy identifies as bisexual. She has had a girlfriend, and I love her. And I know that not a lot of parents are open with that. Oh, it's Adam. Look.
Oh, hi!
And I know a lot of parents aren't necessarily open at this age, at 13, with their kids dating. And somebody asked me recently, like, how do I feel about it? And I honestly, have her join. Sometimes I wonder if Kennedy was into boys, I wonder if I would feel different. But because she's into girls, I'm like, well, she's not going to get pregnant. Like,
Look at this puppy right here.
like I don't know. Like sometimes I wonder too, like if I had a son, would I feel differently because a boy can get a girl pregnant? All I can do is like when parents ask me questions, like, what would you do? And I just try to be like, look, I try to keep an open, an open conversation with my kid and let her know about the pros and the cons to certain things. And
It's food.
it is food. And just try to be open, but also like, I know I'm the kind of parent where I'd be like, you keep that door open, like I don't know. At the same time, like, I think that being an open-minded parent, like, you are only 13 and there's certain things that like I'm emotionally and physically not ready for her to do or like you to do. But at the same time, like, everybody matures at a different rate. And I think that just being honest with your parents and not shaming
So much easier.
your kids, and setting boundaries. And like, if there's a reason why you don't want your kid, what happened? There's a reason why you don't think your child should be doing something, be honest, right? Like, I want to have that relationship with my kid, you know, so that, I mean, I don't know what's going to stop her or not stop her. Nothing stopped me when I was younger. But again, when I was her age, I was butt ugly. So my parents
no, you
didn't.
weren't.
Oh, God. Like, big glasses, okay? Not cute. It was the 90s. So, like, it was grungy. I wasn't into makeup. And so my parents didn't have to worry about me getting into any trouble because I was ugly. So they were
not
never
ugly.
I think the reason I could go out to a concert on a Wednesday, like, do you remember, Stephanie, like, do you remember, it's called Avalon now, but it was called the Palace?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was into ska bands in high school. My parents would be
ska.
like, if you want to go see Hepcat or whoever at the Palace with your friends on a Wednesday, fine, you are home at 11. At 11:01, you are grounded. And they weren't worried that I was going to, like, go home with some guy or do things like substances or whatever because I was naive and I was ugly. But I am Jewish and I was chronically late and I can't tell you how many times I'd be grounded because I'd get there at 11:01 and did not, you know, like, consider traffic or getting back to our car or what have you. So anyway,
That's so funny.
anyway, so that's our episode for today. Kenna, do you have any parting gifts or parting thoughts for your friends out there?
Thank you so much for the friends and the people who had joined today, and I'm just like super happy. This is my first Hotline Live.
Yeah, you were great, and I really
Thank you.
appreciate all your friends.
I'm
and
really tired, and I need to go get some food.
Okay, well, we do have Italian waiting. Steph, love you. Thank you for coming in at the end.
I'm sorry I was late. I was
Yep.
in a meeting.
You know
I'm
what?
glad
You
I-
got to make those big bucks so then you can help me make those big bucks.
There you go, girl.
All right, you guys.
There you go.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
Next week, we'll see you Wednesday next week. Steph, I'll talk to you soon. But I'll see everyone next week. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Bye.